People everywhere are starting to listen to him. He's going on French, British, Italian, Japanese television.
This is the Wide World of Weingarten.
Wide World of Weingarten, almost 11 o'clock this morning in Los Angeles. It is July 6th, so I guess it's Wednesday. Means we got Shohei Ohtani pitching this afternoon. First start of his career at Miami Marlins. Probably a decent matchup for him. I don't know how it's going to go, but as it's Shohei Ohtani day, I was playing around with the same game parlay engine at FanDuel and at DraftKings, and I just wanted to give you some comparisons. I did the same thing last week when Ohtani started. I don't regularly bet same game parlays, and I don't have the time to go through this stuff. It's also unless there's a very exploitable situation, it's just usually negative EV in terms of time and money to just continue exploring these things. But I like to do it on Ohtani days because you can get some interesting parlays out there. But so for FanDuel, I got Ohtani to hit a home run plus 450, Ohtani over 7.5 strikeouts plus 104, first inning over 0.5 runs plus 124. It pays 19-16, so just over 19-1 at FanDuel. Same bet at DraftKings, Ohtani to hit a home run plus 425, Ohtani over 8 strikeouts minus 105, over 0.5 runs in the first inning plus 120, pays 13-1. So as always, if you are going to bet this kind of stuff, make sure you have access to multiple different books and you can shop around, because I was quickly able to show you same bet practically. One book pays 19-1, one pays 13-1. You obviously want to take the better odds when you can. So the three legs of that, obviously, I think actually these are all playable independently if you wanted, especially the Ohtani to hit a home run plus 450, but also over 0.5 runs, which would be yes score first inning at plus 120 or plus 124, would both absolutely be a play, and I intend to play later today. So that's what I got on the same game parlays. As far as first innings go today, I actually already bet the Cleveland-Detroit game and it lost. Little disappointed in that. I had some really good numbers, but not surprising. That happens all the time. Later today, I have the Astros-Royals first inning. I'm looking for even money around there. I'll play it up to minus 110. But Astros-Royals first inning, yes, I'm waiting for that to pop up a couple more places before I bet it. And then slightly earlier, I think it goes off an hour and a half before that game, Angels-Marlins, I'm going to bet yes score. I see the plus 120s and plus 124 already. I'm going to shop around a little bit. I could probably push that number even a little bit higher. But I got that one. And then Yankees-Pirates, gonna hit that game again. Had some props on that yesterday, but gonna hit the first inning yes on that again. Looking for even money up to minus 105 there. So 3 games later on the first innings. The only reason I haven't bet them yet is because I'm recording this and a lot of places have not finished putting up props yet. So can't bet things that aren't up. Let's see, home run props. Talked about home run props yesterday. I've seen other people touting home run props, on their shows and podcasts, and I'm not trying to nitpick too much because it's a pretty fun market to play around in. But a lot of people giving stuff out. They're giving stuff out at like 280, 250, 3-1. Those are just typically bad bets. They might win, but just bad bets day to day. So I'm trying to give out some home run props, but I'm trying to give out numbers that I think have, actual value day over day. So I tried it out yesterday. Unfortunately, my notes for yesterday's show, I didn't save them. I just kind of turned off the computer and I forgot the exact numbers. And guys, I can go back and listen and write it down, but I don't really want to do that. I do know that Jack Suwoniski on the Pirates hit a home run, and Seiya Suzuki hit a home run that was 5-1 and 5.5-1, so that kind of canceled out everything else. I think there were like 11 total bets, so those two winners canceled out all the other ones. And then on the no scores, I had Judge no home run minus like 320, and Schwarber minus no home run minus 265. Schwarber hit 2 home runs, so what do I know about anything? But so I lost a little bit there. I lost $165 between those two bets at $100 each, and that was the main driver of the net loss yesterday. Everything else kind of broke even because those two 5-1 and 5.5-1 covered everything else. So I'm gonna try again today. Here's some numbers I liked at FanDuel. There were slightly more plays at FanDuel today than yesterday. More plays at FanDuel today than DraftKings. Although DraftKings does deal the two-way market, so I typically find no home run bets more often at DraftKings. But today's numbers, I got FanDuel, Alex Krylov plus 520, Starlin Marte plus 450. The Rays game, I got Isaac Paredes and Wander Franco 5-1 and 6-1. I'm really interested to see how long these Franco numbers stay above 6-1. That's super high. Jeremy Pena plus 480. That's rather high. Bobby Witt Jr. plus 480. I actually almost bet him yesterday, and I bet Vinny Pasquantino instead. So Witt hit the home run yesterday. I'm sure Pasquantino will hit a home run today because I bet Witt. Christian Walker 5-1. That's rather high for Pete Alonso Light, as I like to call him. DraftKings, Christopher Morrell plus 750. Shohei Ohtani 5-1. That's a pretty high number for Ohtani. Give me 5-1. O'Neal Cruz plus 650 at DraftKings. Got to check if he's in the lineup. I'm not 100% sure he's going to be in the lineup today. Might have a day off. And then the no scores. I have 5 no scores at DraftKings today. I totally understand if you don't want to play them because you're not used to laying big juice, but I think these are all reasonable no-score numbers for any player, let alone getting 5 of these in one day. So Pete Alonso, no home run, minus 235. Aaron Judge, no home run, minus 300. Jordan Alvarez, no home run, minus 390. Kind of hope I lose that one. Jock Peterson, no, minus 400, and Schwarber, no, minus 290. I'm just playing these for $100 each. Like, I could play them for more. I just, I get it. I get the aversion to laying juice, and sometimes it's just not fun to bet thousands of dollars on no-score home run props. But I'm okay betting them for $100 or $200 each right now. Today I'm just going to do these for $100 each. That's the yes scores too. So the plus monies are all to win, are risking 100, and the no scores are all to win 100. Just if you're trying to keep track. Then got some player futures that I've been meaning to talk about stuff I've added in the last couple days and weeks. So I want to talk about that, but I got to take a quick break. So stay tuned. Gonna be gone for a slight commercial break, and I'll come back and we'll talk about player futures and some more stuff I bet today. So stay tuned for that. Welcome back, Wide World of Weingarten. Want to talk about player futures. I made a bunch of bets this week. Decent amount of additions at various numbers. So I thought I'd go through some of them and kind of talk about why I bet some of them. And the first one, at the Superbook, Westgate Superbook, they have Jacob deGrom 1,000-1 to win the NL Cy Young. I think this is self-explanatory. It's Jacob deGrom. Obviously, a lot of things would have to happen for him to seriously contend, but in the event he comes back and makes every single start at an elite level, I think he's better than 1,000-1. So added a little bit more to this position that I've already added at 100-1, 300-1, 200-1, 500-1. I ended up with a decent amount on deGrom at huge numbers. So we'll see if that's just a donation to the Westgate or not. At BetMGM, there's a bet I've been thinking about making for a while. I gotta give credit to base winner who bet this last year, Mark Borchardt, also a guest on Gill's show. He asked me what I thought about Robbie Ray at 100-1 last year. I was like, yeah, it sounds great. I don't really have an opinion on it. And man, he was dead right. Probably should have listened to him. I had a great season last year with futures. It could have been even better if I had Robbie Ray at 100-1, and he was just sitting out there at the All-Star break last year. Just anybody could have just gone up there and banged him 100-1 all you want. Nobody was it wasn't well protected or anything. It was just, you could have got all the money you wanted on it. He's drifted out to 125-1 now this year after a rough first month of the season, and I think really when all is said and done, if you're going to have a rough month, having a rough month, the first month of the season is always a lot better than fading late. He's really started to get that Cy Young form back. His last 4 starts, he's got a .67 ERA, 28 strikeouts over his last 27 innings, so he's definitely regaining that Cy Young form, and still half a season left, a lot of time for Robbie Ray to jump back in that race like he did last year. So 125-1, BetMGM's number. I thought that's one of the better prices I've gotten recently. I'm happy to add that to my AL Cy Young portfolio, where I'm already holding Shane McClanahan as the favorite. Then Betfred, a recent addition to my betting portfolio, has Yordan Alvarez 15-1 for MVP, where he's 6.5-1 at FanDuel, 5-1 at Superbook. So anytime you can get 3 times the price at Superbook on a guy who's ascending, might be the best hitter in the American League, probably the best hitter in the American League, not going out on a limb saying that here. I don't know if you saw what he did yesterday. Had a 91.5 mile outfield assist in the bottom half of the inning, and then the top half of the next inning he hit a home run. I might have those innings mixed up, but had an assist followed by a home run. Was pretty impressive. Honestly, there's no world where he's 15-1 and Aaron Judge is even money at this point. Those are just made up prices. So you have access to Betfred, 15-1, great number there. They also had a couple other great numbers. I had to take a little bit on what's his name, Kyle Schwarber. I've been saying Kyle Schwarber is better than Aaron Judge. Might as well back that up. So I bet some Schwarber for NL MVP at 150-1. I've seen that number as low as 40 and 50-1. So just taking a little bit on a long shot here. I think Kyle Schwarber is probably slightly underrated, but not a serious MVP contender. I just, sometimes I like to bet 150-1 on stuff. Then NL Rookie of the Year, I added Seiya Suzuki at 20-1. Smaller position there, but enough to at least cover Cruz and Gorman and Max Meyer and Michael Harris. I have a lot of Michael Harris, but putting some of that equity back into Seiya Suzuki, because if you recall, before the season he was a 3-1, a 4-1 favorite. He was really tearing it up at the beginning so much that he went to odds on early, so early. People were asking me, is it a good bet at 1-1? And I was like, I don't think so. But hurt his finger, lost about a month of the season. He's drifted out to 20-1, comes back, hits an inside the park home run, hits a home run yesterday. I think if you have positions on some of these other guys, you have to add some Suzuki at double digits. He got up to about 25-1. So happy to get in at 20-1 here. And we talked about FanDuel and how FanDuel lets you parlay some of these futures. So definitely take a look at Suzuki as a parlay leg at I think he's like 12-1 there. But use some of these guys as multipliers. You don't have to follow my advice 100%, but I think Ohtani's mispriced. I think Yordan Alvarez is mispriced. So if you are functioning on the assumption that some of these futures are mispriced, then you can use them as parlay legs, and I'll go through a couple different examples of stuff I found. But for example, yesterday I said Alvarez Ohtani pays 101-1. That's Alvarez MVP, Ohtani Cy Young. Although I find it hard to believe that there's very many scenarios where Ohtani wins Cy Young. He's not MVP. I did want to take a stab at 100 to 1. Those odds on that same bet down to 89 to 1 today, so slightly worse odds there. But if you do think Jordan's going to win the AL MVP, you could do AL MVP Jordan, AL Cy Young Ohtani, NL Cy Young Sandy Alcantara, NL Rookie of the Year Seiya Suzuki. That would pay 2,631 to 1. So $100 bet would pay 263,000, slightly over that. If you like a bet like that. If you think Ohtani is going to win AL MVP and you want to kind of juice it a little higher, you could parlay Ohtani AL MVP, Alcantara NL Cy. That pays plus 710, so just over 7 to 1 there. Ohtani, Alcantara, McClanahan, you get 27 to 1 there. All three of those pay less than Alcantara and McClanahan Cy Young prices before the season, unfortunately, but it's a way to juice your returns if you are trying to do that this late in the season. Ohtani, Alcantara, McClanahan, Suzuki, 367.55, so 367.5 to 1 is pretty good. If you add Julio Rodriguez to that, you get 499 to 1. So that's Ohtani MVP, Alcantara Cy, McClanahan Cy, Suzuki and J-Rod Rookie of the Year. Not bad, 499 to 1. Ohtani, Alcantara, McClanahan, J-Rod, Michael Harris pays 172 to 1. If you want to get crazy and you think Ohtani wins the MVP, Alcantara wins the Cy Young, and Garrett Cole wins the Cy Young, you could tie those three guys to Suzuki at 999 to 1, or Michael Harris at 345 to 1. And then if you want to make two bets, you want to spend $250 to make almost $1 million, I would parlay Robbie Ray and Jacob deGrom Cy Young. $50 pays $611,000 at FanDuel. And Robbie Ray, Cy Young, Yordan Alvarez MVP, and Sandy Alcantara Cy Young would a $200 bet would pay $340,000. So that's the way you could bet $250 and win $950,000 if Robbie Ray, deGrom are your Cy Youngs, and actually you could not. Actually, I just realized you can't win that because of one would be deGrom, one would be Alcantara. So you could only win one of those bets, actually. So the math is slightly wrong, but those were two different really big parlays that I priced out and that I thought were compelling. Anyways, those are my dogs barking in the background, so gonna go see what's going on with them. Thank you for listening. If you made it this far, I bet on Baltimore again, Baltimore minus 105, and let's see what else we got. I think it's just Baltimore minus 105. Sorry for the barking dogs here at the end.
Visit VSiN.com to get current odds, listen for free, find showtimes, and download VSiN sports betting podcasts.